He's not here yet.
Oh, well then we won't.
Good morning. We'll call to order the City of Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety meeting of March 20th, 2014. Roll call. Here.
Here. Here.
Item 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of March 13th.
Anybody get a chance to look at them? I'd like to make a motion that we defer minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item A, we have a request for advertising and bid dates of March 27th and April 3rd, with a bid opening of April 17th for improvements on California Avenue in the 6th District.
I'd like to make a motion that we set those bid dates. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item B, we have correspondence from Chief of Inspection Callahan requesting to award the bid of demolition of several properties to the low bidder, who is JM Industrial Services, for a total bid price on the 4 addresses of $23,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item C, we have correspondence from Director Gleason requesting a stop sign be placed on the 6600 block of Van Buren.
Make a motion that we approve his request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item D, we have a hearing on several properties. Is this the same owner?
Yeah, these are represented by Gary Matthews.
Okay. How about if we defer D? I don't see Mr. Matthews here yet. Item E, we have a rental registration hearing for the property at 7603 Harrison. Can you please come forward to the podium, sir? Are you Mr. Fernandez?
Yes.
Are you the owner of the property?
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez, it's your opportunity now to explain to the board why you failed to register the rental unit.
I had the property for sale, and the person that was selling it, we were trying to make an agreement, and she was trying to get a purchase for the property, and we didn't know that we had to register it. I have her paperwork here of the purchase with the other person.
President, my information is that in September of 2011, it was discovered it wasn't registered. He was sent to collections in 2000. He was sent to collections at that time, and he never responded. So he's known that he had to register at least since the time he was receiving collection letters concerning the property.
What address did they send it to?
264 East Burdick Road, Chesterton?
I never got that.
Sir, how long have you owned this property?
I still own it now. I've been owning it since, I want to say, I moved out to Chesterton 7 years ago.
How long have you owned 7603 Harrison?
I want to say about 14 years, maybe.
So there was no previous owner?
No, I was.
In September of 2011 who would have received a notice on 7603 Harrison?
I had the house for sale, and Mr. Tony Serino was the person in charge of it. I don't know what people he had in between.
You own it and you don't know who's living in there?
No, I do now. I had to get it back. I had to get a lawyer to get it back. It never changed hands. It was still under my name.
It was like a contract sale?
Yes, it's a contract sale. So I never got any paperwork. I don't know if they sent it to somebody else.
Did they send it to Nicole Sfogato?
They probably did. Yes, that's her.
You need to talk to Nicole Sfogato about why she didn't give you the mail.
Okay.
Mr. Fernandez, is there anything additional you wish to relay to the board regarding this matter?
I mean, I'm willing to pay the fees. I never had no problem with paying fees. They might have confused my addresses because a lot of it does go to my renters. And me and her were trying to make an agreement to sell the house.
Is there a motion by the board?
Are we only doing it? Are we only?
This one here, this is just this property here, 7603. How many years have you not paid this?
This house, I had it with the person, Mr. Tony Savino, for probably about 3 years. And Miss Nicole Sagado was purchasing it from him.
So
I just got
how
this-
many-
I just
how
got
many
this
years
notice
is he
here.
In arrears?
Well, Mr. President, my information only goes back to 2010, so we know for sure in 2010 to the present, it has not been registered.
Chris, in a contract sale, who's actually responsible to make sure everything's taken care of?
If the contract sale is recorded with the recorder's office, and then the city would know, however, if you have a secret contract sale that nobody knows about, the city has no way of knowing about that. And that's what a lot of people do in order to try to basically get around the registration, so have these contract sales, but they don't actually record them.
Is it rented out now?
Yes,
It's been rented out since you've had it?
2 years. I just got it back, actually.
I'd like to make a motion that he has to pay the $80 for 2 years, so $160, and then the $500 fine, and then get it up to code now.
Yeah, we're gonna waive one of the fines, because
Okay.
you would have to pay for both years.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. One of your appeals has been granted.
Okay.
The other one has not. As such, you'll have 30 days to register your units.
Okay.
For 2 years at $80 per year plus
Okay.
one $500 late fee. If you fail to register your units within 30 days, our order will be vacated and both of the late fees for each of those 2 years will be assessed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's refer back to item D. See Mr. Matthews is here for several properties, 1916 Calumet, Hoffman, Warren, Toll, Hanover, Sibley, Cedar, and 2 on Cedar.
Are those all the same property owner, Ms. Matthews?
No.
Oh, okay.
1916 Calumet is John Heldak, and tentatively we've worked out an agreement to reduce the number of apartments there. He's in the process of getting a contractor to lay out a floor plan, and then we present that to the building department, then we'll go through the building and see about making an agreement to conclude that, hopefully within the next 30 days.
Okay. I'm going to set that. Mr. Smith, do you have a date? '20th, 19th, 20th.
April 17th.
417. I have the agenda. What was the next one?
The next one is
814 Hoffman.
Eight 14 Hoffman is a repossessed property by First Federal Savings and Loan. I met with the building department. They were agreeable to the building being changed into a 2-unit. They also wanted a floor plan. Things have kind of been delayed because First Federal's in the process of a merger, which is supposed to be complete at the end of next month. So they've been switching personnel and who I deal with, but I'm confident we can get it done, and the property's been vacant, so there shouldn't,
60.
that would be wonderful.
May 22nd.
May 22nd. Okay, 40 Warren Street.
Oh, Ms. Jakula. Right, okay. That one I've requested an inspection. That we go through the property. Tentatively, we've talked about reducing the current 4-unit usage down to 3. My client wanted to go through with the building department to say which 3 and what needs to be done, maybe even convince them that we can keep 4. So I requested that last month, but I'm waiting to hear back on a date we can do an inspection.
April 17th, Mr. Matthews?
That'd be fine.
Okay, April 17th. 4927 Toll.
That's Glenn Barker's property. He is going to be converting it to a single family. The city would not compromise, felt that it needs to be residential. So we're in the process of drafting an agreement. I'm waiting for the leases because the city has agreed to allow current tenants to live out their leases, and then we do the paperwork to make it a single-family residence. So hopefully we can get that done within the next 30 days.
April 17th.
Thank you.
222 Hanover.
The last 2 should be Tom Culver's property. Those are going slower than I thought. He said the snow's killing him and he's had some health issues. But we've tentatively talked with the city on what they would allow. I've got to go through the property and inspect it with them and see where we go from there. So I need another 30 days on that.
April 17th. 951 Sibley.
Same thing on that one.
Okay, 4922 Cedar. Do you have Cedar?
Yeah, that's also Culver. I think there's 2 properties on Cedar.
4930 and 4932.
Yeah, I'd ask for the same on those.
Okay. We'll set all of those for the April 17th date. Does that conclude the properties you have
Yes.
today? Thank you, Mr. Matthews.
Thank you.
Okay. Item I. Item H. Item G.
Aren't we still on it? Did we already do 20?
F. All right. You know, I marked it. We were on F.
We already checked.
Somebody put decaf in the coffee machine, I think. All right, item F. We have a rental registration hearing at 4006 Torrance. Is there anyone here from 4006 Torrance? Are you Ms. Campbell?
I am.
You're the owner of 4006 Torrance?
I am.
Okay, this is your opportunity, Ms. Campbell, to explain to the board why you failed to register the unit.
I'm here to appeal the late fees because I was unaware of the registration fee. As soon as I'd started renting the property, I'd called the assessor's office to tell them to take off my homestead to increase my taxes, and I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. I did not know about the $80 fee. I was not notified until a tenant called me on February 11th to tell me that I received a collections letter for $2,000, and immediately I called to find out what I needed to do. I tried to write a check for all the years of past due registration fees, but they wouldn't accept it until I got a trial here with you. And I did not get my first tenant until May 1st of 2010. And 2011, my taxes were increased, and I've paid taxes on I didn't try to hide that I was doing this. I was just unaware about the $80 fee.
How many units is your building, Ms.
One,
Campbell?
it's a single-family home.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live out by O'Hare Airport. And the address was changed there too, so all of anything having to do with taxes or anything should have come to my home address. I didn't receive any notification.
Well, that's a reason for the property registration, so that we know where to send that.
Yeah, I talked to the assessor's office and told them to change my address, that everything should be sent with my taxes, with my insurance. I did everything right as I got my tenant in and thought I did what was required.
It's a single-family home, there's only one unit there?
Yeah.
Ms. Cantar, do you have any information on this property?
No, Mr. President, I don't have anything on this one.
Ms. Campbell, is there any additional information you wish to relate to the board regarding your matter?
No, I have my leases proving that I got my first tenant in 2010. I have my tax increase. I have all of my applications and a check to pay what I owe today.
Just to add what we said, Brady, according to the assessor assessor and treasurer site, they still do have Ms. Campbell's address as the actual rental address of 4006 Torrance. So that would be our only correspondence that we have in order to send out any notification or citation.
The assessor's office has my address as being 1212 in Park Ridge.
I'm just relaying the information.
No, that's perfectly fine. Okay.
The gentleman is trying to defend your position that the assessor's records that we have available are not completely current.
Okay,
Even though you have
My
changed the
tax bills
address.
and everything
Yeah,
come
even
to
though your
my
tax
current-
bills may go to the assessor's website.
It's different?
still
Okay.
It's showing your old address.
How long have you been renting it?
Since May 1st, 2010.
Almost.
And my previous tenant did
Should have
send my
been
mail to me that I
registered
used to get.
3 years?
I think they're fining me for 4. They're fining me $2,000. I tried to send the check for all of the money, but they wouldn't accept it. I sent it with a friend for the 400 for all 5 years, but they didn't accept it until I had this hearing. Why not? I mean, I tried to pay February 14th. I wrote the check.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive 3 of the late fees, impose 1 of them, and 4 $80 registrations. So 320 and 5 is 820.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The board's determined that you owe for 4 years. Although you may have been noticed that you owe for 5, the board's determined that you owe for 4. They're asking that you pay the regular rental registration fee of $80 for each of those 4 years, plus one $500 late fee.
Will they, I mean, I could pay the 400 right now. Will they accept payments on the late fee?
No. The law office and our office isn't.
Ms. Campbell, you'll have 30 days to register the units.
Mr. President, of those $80 times 4, is that including 214?
It will be the most recent.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll bring her up to date.
Okay. I just want to make sure she's going to register this year.
So she owes you guys $820, then she's all square through this year.
We let her register for the $80 times 4, and then 500, 30 days to pay that.
Okay. Do you accept credit card for the late fee?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll have 30 days to register the units. If you don't register them in 30 days, our
It'll
order
be
will
paid today. I
vacated.
have the registration and everything with me.
Okay.
Stick around after the meeting, then we'll get a copy of the paperwork that you'll take on tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Item G, 141 142nd Street.
Right here, sir.
Come on forward, sir. Are you Mr. Finn?
Yes, I am.
You're the owner of 141 142nd Street?
Yes, sir.
We have your home address also as 141 142nd.
That's correct. I recently moved back to town.
Okay, is this a single-family home, Mr. Finn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So am I to assume that you're appealing your rental registration fee based on the fact that this isn't a rental?
No, I'm not appealing anything. I wasn't, in 2008, long story short, I moved to Seattle. The house was vacant. I had somebody just look after it. I moved back home. I stayed here approximately 7 months, and then I took a job in New York City. At that point in time, which would bring it into mid-2011, I let a girl stay there. Eventually, I did start collecting rent from her in 2012. I was not aware that I had to register the property as a rental. So I'm just here to square everything away, that's all. I talked to the inspector, Nick. The people were, unfortunately, I let the fox in the hen house, and they robbed me blind. They destroyed my property, so.
When did you move back into it?
In August I actually moved back in August of this year.
13.
I'm sorry, 2013,
So you rented it out for 2 years?
a year and a half.
Hold on. Ms. Cantar, do you have any information regarding this property?
Actually, the information I have is consistent with what he said. There's no rental, only partially during the period, 2 years.
Very good. Mr. Finn, is there any additional information you wish to relay to the board?
No, sir, other than I apologize for my lack of insight. I didn't know.
I'd like to make a motion that we impose a fee of $500 fee and two $80 fees.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Mr. Finn, the board's determined that they're going to waive one of your late fees for one of the years you rented your units.
Okay.
However, you're going to have to register them for the 2 years you did, plus one late fee of $500.
Okay,
Okay? You'll have 30 days to register the units. If you fail to do so, our order will be vacated.
okay, I have 30 days to come back to this building here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You have two options. You can wait until after the meeting, and our secretary will give you a copy of our order. You can take that copy and register your units. Or if you choose to leave, the secretary will mail you a copy of our order, which you can then bring within 30 days. To the
Okay, I'm going to have to leave. I have a ride waiting for me. I don't. One other thing, the inspector that I was dealing with since I moved back into my home, he said I had to sign an affidavit that I am back in the house. Will that be also in that mail that I can expect from you people?
Is the water bill in your name, Mr. Finn?
Yes, I had to put the water bill back in my name, the electric, everything.
Mr. President, I believe he's asking for the affidavit to affirm that it's not a rental. You'll have to get that from the building department, unless somebody from the building department is out.
Okay.
Okay, I can get with the building department people and get it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Finn.
Thank you. So in all total, I'm going to owe $580, is that correct? $660.
Yes, sir.
20, right?
80 twice over.
Oh, no, you're right, sorry.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Item H, 7021 Colorado. Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
You're the owner of the property at 7021 Colorado?
Yes, sir.
And your address of residence is 7227 Belmont?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is your opportunity to explain to the board why you failed to register your rental unit on Colorado.
Well, I wasn't really renting it out. I had some friends stay with me, and then they started like bringing people over and things like that, and I just didn't want them in the house anymore. So
You live at Belmont, but you had friends staying with you. Who owns the property on Colorado?
I do. I was staying there. At the
You
time.
own it by yourself?
Yeah, my uncle, he bought it for me.
Mr. President, the city's information is that on October the 28th of last year, the tenant, who identified herself as tenant, Ashley Devine, said that she had given the landlord $1,000, which sounds to me like rent, and NIPSCO has been shut off. The utilities were the owner's uncle's name. They contacted the health department. The tenant stated she wanted the utilities put in her name now. So it does appear a little bit inconsistent with what Mr. Haddad has said. We have a tenant who's paying him money and living there without utilities.
Is Ashley Devine her real name?
I don't know.
Are you living in the place?
No, not anymore.
Who's living there?
No one.
How long has it been empty?
Has probably like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Because we marked the property uninhabitable, initially we were notified by a water department employee that he observed an extension cord running from 7021 Colorado across the street to a neighboring property for electricity. Upon arriving there, I spoke with Mrs.
have you owned it?
About a year and a few months.
Is that right, Nick? You guys haven't inspected it since then?
We've inspected it twice.
Since there's been nobody there?
Correct.
And?
And they had a hearing last week, which nobody appeared for. The court affirmed the removal of the illegal permit.
There's an illegal apartment in it too? So there's
Correct.
two apartments?
Correct, it's a single-family home that's been cut into 2 units.
Well, they're connected. I mean, that's why we bought the house, because it just had 2 kitchens and stuff like that, and it was a pretty big house, so it seemed like a pretty good deal.
You had the intention of renting this unit then, is that correct?
Not at first. I wanted to live there for a while before I started renting it.
In both units?
No, it was just once. It was just gonna be like one big house. They're all connected. I mean, it's not like separated. There's multiple ways to get into both of them.
So it's still on, there's nobody there? Are you
Right,
guys
yeah, the
open?
property is kind of big, and there's some severe water damage, pipes busted, flooded, the base was it. Second inspection, they actually couldn't gain access to the entire property because of the water damage. But yeah, it is vacant, nobody's living there, utilities off. I'll stay away until it gets brought to code.
Mr. Haddad, were you aware that you had tenants in your property that did not have utilities this winter?
No, I told them to leave, and then I thought they were out of the house before I turned off all the utilities.
You turned off the utilities?
Yeah, well, I had my uncle do it because it was in his name, but I told them all to leave, and I didn't want them there anymore.
I'm not gonna ask you.
Just one more piece of information, if the board may please. Uncle who purchased the property for this gentleman, Mr. Mansour, also owns other multiple properties in the city of Hammond. He claims to own about 20 other properties, as well as some commercial properties and businesses in the city. So I believe he would be made fully aware of the ordinances which we have in place to register rental properties and, maintain them.
He owns multiple properties?
His uncle who purchased the property for him
Okay.
claimed to own over 20 properties in the city, as well as some local businesses. I believe that you would have been made aware of the local ordinances which are required by the city to register the property.
Speak with Corporation Counsel.
I'm confused on it.
Is there anything else that you wish to relate to the board regarding your matter?
Can I say something?
Are you the owner of the home?
No.
Then no, if you have no interest in the property. No? Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we deny the appeal and impose 2 $500 fines and 2 $80 rental registrations.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Your appeal has been denied. You're going to be required to register the units for the 2 years you rented them at the regular rate of $80 plus the late fees of $500. You'll have 30 days to do so. If you fail to do so in 30 days, our appeal or our order will be vacated and collection proceedings will ensue. Do you understand that? Okay. Additionally, do you realize,
Wait, 2 years?
yes, 2 years.
I only had the house for a little over a year.
Yeah.
And it's been empty for.
Greater than 12 months is less than 12 months is 1 year. Greater than 12 months is 2.
Yeah, but it's been empty for over 5 months.
The board's already ruled on your matter, sir.
Okay. I'm just a little confused.
I think the board was probably a little confused by your reckless and irresponsible behavior of shutting the utilities off on tenants.
I gave them plenty of warning, sir,
You didn't even know, you said you shut it off and you didn't even know they were not out. That's your responsibility.
because I had to leave because they kept bringing people over and stray
Hey,
cats.
sir,
and things like
They call it
your hearing's over.
Okay.
Your hearing is concluded. Thank you. If you wish to appeal, you can obtain legal counsel, and they can apprise you of the methods you can appeal our decision if you choose to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item K. We have correspondence from the
What about I?
I? I'm just moving right through. I, 7144 Grand. Is there anybody here on 7144 Grand?
On 7144 Grand, we have a 2-unit. One of the units are illegal. In 1941, it was built as a 5-room frame residence. Since then, there's been multiple permits, like raising the, framing the dormer, room addition, raising the roof, but it was never a permit to make it a 2-unit.
Mr. Boonder? Yes. The city is contending that your multi-family unit is a single-family home. It's your opportunity to respond to that charge.
I purchased a home approximately 30 years ago. At that point, it was a 2-unit building. Separate entrances, separate utilities, everything. At the time purchasing it, I was under the impression it was a 2-unit building, has always been. Have registered it as a 2-unit building. Was unaware that it was, that it was always a 2-unit building. So, obviously my request is that it be continued to stay that way.
Mr. Boner said he owned it for about 30 years. He didn't start paying rental registration until 2010 on that unit. I'm not sure how long they lived there before they started renting it, but he only just began to pay rental registration in 2010.
The building department's contention that other than no permits being pulled, the house is in compliance with.
No, there's no fire separation in the home between the 2 units.
There's 2 separate entrances to the second floor apartment. There's a back and a front.
Yes.
are the permits at? They in here? What is residing?
When did you buy it? 30 years ago?
Approximately 30 years ago, yeah.
Raised the roof in 95.
Sorry.
Who is? Okay.
Do you have any problem working along with the building department to make it, if it had fire separation, it would be 2 units, is that what you're saying? Kelly? I mean, did you see how big it is?
Yeah, similar to her, all the other single-family homes on Grand in that area, they're larger homes.
So
And
you
there's
actually
all
owned
zoned
it,
R1.
you actually owned it when they raised the roof?
The,
It looks like by the date.
1995 is when the roof was, the addition was put on in 70, but you had the roof raised in 95. Did you own it then, or?
okay, there was from what she showed me, there was originally they had put dormers on, and the dormers were not very well pitched, and so I put it basically superstructure over the roof. So yes, I did that. I owned at that point. It was a 2-unit building at that point.
So Mr. Stein is actually zoned R1.
Pardon?
It's zoned R1.
Zoned R1?
Variance would have to go to BZA.
It looks like at some point the garage was converted to a bedroom. I believe there's a step down to well, it looks like the garage in front of the house. There's a step down to that room there.
The back room has a step down.
Back room, yeah.
The side room, which has always been a bedroom as long as I've owned it, is on the same level. The back was an addition that I did. And
Yeah,
then
with
it
the
was
front.
Yeah.
Obviously permitted all this.
Yeah, that's, what is this, the second entrance? Okay. So when they-
So do you have left and right units or up and?
Up and down.
There's a staircase from where the garage was for the upstairs unit, or?
How do you can the people on the first floor get to the second floor apartment? Or
No.
you got just from the outside?
Only from the outside.
So this garage is just like a add-on playroom or something? That wasn't the garage?
It used to be. This must have been a garage because they got a driveway in there.
Oh, so there's a staircase going up? Oh, I see.
Well, obviously was illegally converted at some time.
Oh, don't we have some multifamily in R1?
I don't think so. R1 is single family.
Yeah, R1 now, but don't we have?
R1 always was. That's why there's a 1 there. 1 unit, R1.
Yeah, but like on Highland Street, that's R1. Right.
There's a whole bunch of those that have been converted.
Mm-hmm.
How'd the building department find out about this issue here?
Actually, I found out from Mr. Callahan. He relayed to me that it's 2 units, maybe a possible illegal 2 unit. And we did the inspection, and that was our finding.
Go ahead.
The building? Right here, right? So in the building department's investigation, were you able to determine when this actually was changed into a 2-unit from a 1-unit? Because obviously it looks like it's been modified.
When, we don't exactly know.
I'd be suspicious that when the dormer was installed, that was the time that this happened. That would make sense.
There was plumbing and electrical permits, but we had electrical permits for $10 and $15. I don't know if that would be for the whole unit. Yeah, there was like in 1959 and then in 1974. So it'd be for maybe a small job, but not for a whole unit.
I don't know, Chris, what do you think?
If you want, we could send this over, building department, and look into it a little bit more, talk to them.
Maybe we should do that.
Just see if there's some unanswered questions, somebody's gonna get the answer.
I'd like to make a motion that we set this over, what, 30 days? What do you guys need to do some more investigation?
Why don't we give Mr. Boonder 60 days if he wishes to obtain legal counsel to represent him in this matter?
60 days?
What was the date? May 22nd. Mr. Boonder, we're going to reset your matter for May 22nd.
Okay.
You probably should use this time as opportunity to possibly get legal counsel or generate additional information to strengthen your case.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what I would do other than the fact it's been that way for as long as I've owned it.
You'd have to prove it was done legally. To be grandfathered, it has to be done legally.
Okay. All right.
Get
Do you know how to do
grandfathered.
that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, this was kind of out of left field of me, so where would I obtain that information? Building department or?
Yeah, the building department would be a good place to start, Mr. Boonder. Despite the fact that it's always been like that, which a lot of owners have that impression, it's no different than if you were selling narcotics for 10 years and we caught you in year 11, you said, I always did it.
Yeah, I understand. I just,
we're going to give you 60 days to try and get an understanding of what the building department is asking of you. And
okay.
In that time, you'll be hopefully able to make a determination whether you're going to agree with the building department and proceed with what they're requesting, or if you're going to contend that that's not the case and bring evidence before us to dispute it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. 4347 Torrance.
All right, what we have here is a 2-unit. We're going to be asking that it goes back to a garage. It's a first and second floor apartment. There's no fire separation on the first and second floor. We have no permits to ever take this from a garage to make it a 2-unit apartment.
Is it an attached garage or a
No,
separate
it's a
garage?
detached.
Huh?
It sits towards the front of the lot. It's a corner house facing 143rd, and then it's got the detached garage that's across the street. But it's going horizontal.
Just a garage by itself that's
Yeah.
converted into living quarters.
Yeah, I believe the picture is the second picture in there. I'll show you a picture of it. The second floor had no ventilation from the kitchen. The ceiling height, I believe, was 6'10". The largest room in there was 6'9" by 6'10", which you need 120 square feet in at least one room, and 70 square feet for a bedroom. Some minor electrical issues. Yeah, with the stairs going up to the second floor, the way the screen door opens, you have to walk on the other side of the door to open it. It opens into the pathway of getting in and out of the apartment. The second floor bathroom, they have, I believe, a 6'5" clearance. You need a 6'8".
Good. Yep. Hello. Sir, my dad, I'm just
One
here to
quick
interpret for
question.
him.
You are Nestor Gonzalez?
No, he is.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're gonna
I'm
translate
just,
for him?
Yeah, translate for him.
Very good.
And, well, pretty much, he'd like to see if there's any way that we can just fix it to the requirements that you guys asked for. Because the way the apartments are set, there's 2 units, as he said, but the downstairs unit, I believe, has potential to be fixed the way that you guys want the requirements. So we just came to see if it's possible to do that, if we can get some time to bring them up to date the way they're supposed to be.
The problem with that is if it's built as a garage, it doesn't have the proper footings and foundation to support live and dead loads. So the only way to bring it into compliance would be to demolish it and then have a licensed contractor come in and redo everything.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's pretty much what he's trying to avoid, the demolish, because it's still a property, it's worth, it's got some kind of value. So, I'd hate just for him to demolish it and lose out on it.
Requested Mr. Gonzalez is for additional time to ascertain what options may be available with
Yeah,
the
he just wants to see some options, that's it. I mean, if it has to go back to the garage, then we'll certainly do that, but if it can be saved in some kind of way.
Mr. Gonzalez, does your father live in the property?
Yeah, well.
So he lives in
it's
the
a
front
house.
and rents the back?
It's a house, yeah.
Understand.
We live it's his house, we live in the back, and, or we live in the front, the apartments are in the back.
Mr. Gonzalez, how much time do you feel would be appropriate to ascertain what requirements would be necessary to bring this to code and get an understanding of what the building department is asking?
You know what, I'm not sure how much time I'm allowed, but
30 days, or if you want 60 days?
Why don't we do 60?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like 60 days because, like I said, I'd like to, because he's my dad, I want to help him out with this problem. So I'd like to get a good architect to come out and give us, the options, the right options to try and fix it.
Over for 60 days.
May 22nd.
May
All in
22nd.
favor? Aye. Mr. Gonzalez, we're going to give you 60 days.
I mean, I'll come back and I'll let you know what,
On May
options to come up
22nd,
with.
I would suggest you get with the building department to get an understanding. An architect would be a good idea. If you
Yeah.
want to retain legal counsel, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sent to yes. So just come back May 22nd? Or what is it?
May 22nd, 9 a.m.
May 22nd?
Sí.
Yes.
Espérame, no puedo ir.
Oh, ya que estamos aquí por la culpa de Jorge Navarro, que la
No.
no.
Metamos. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Item K, we have correspondence from Anita Gilliard requesting a parade route on Highland on May 17th.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the parade route.
So, second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item L, we have correspondence requesting closure of an alley on the 6900 block of Ridgeland for a block party.
I'd like to make a motion that we
Been okayed by the
approve
chief.
it. Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item M, we have correspondence requesting resident-only parking on Columbia Avenue.
I'd like to recommend that be referred to Gary Gleason.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item N, we have correspondence requesting permission to film on Beach Street on April 3rd. and other places.
Make a motion, we approve it. They're not gonna have to block anything
No,
off,
it
right?
said 2 people with just 1 camera, and they're there 30 minutes or so.
Okay, I'll second your motion.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item O, we have correspondence from Mr. Villanueva requesting an appeal of the denial of his business license. Do you have a date, Mr. Smith? 30 days.
April 17th.
April 17th, we'll set that hearing. Item P, we have correspondence requesting a rental registration appeal for 5546 Walter.
April 17th.
April 17th, we'll set that date. Item Q, we have disposal authorizations from the Hammond Police Department. Is there a motion to approve the disposal of these vehicles?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 6, is there any matters from board members?
Yes, I've got a matter. I have AT&T digging request that was held over last week so that we could determine that it wasn't a problem with our bike trail project, and it isn't, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve it.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Is there any other matters? Is there any new or old business? I have one matter. I have correspondence from Attorney Vosti.
Yeah, Mr. President, this appears to be a case for 2 o'clock court. I have no idea why he sent it to the Board of Works, but if he did send it to the Board of Works, I figured I would give it to you.
What is he asking to do in this request?
He's asking for a new court date. It's 5 something simply, 588, 583, it's at the top.
584?
Yeah.
The 4 unit that should be 2, then construction work going on.
He's asking for a hearing before this board on Thursday, May 1st. Is there a motion to grant his request?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 10, public expression. The meeting is now open to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address the board, it's now your opportunity to do so. Come on forward, sir.
Thank you. My name is Michael Anderson. I own 1150 Summer Street. It looks like it's going to be demolished. This is terrible. It's a tragedy for me. However, it doesn't look like I can do anything about it at this point, and so I'm just asking that you guys stay the actual demolition for 60 days so I can get my tools and things out of the garage. And
We award that bid today?
yeah.
I know they opened it last week.
I believe that was one of the properties.
Get a hold of the building commissioner. Building commissioner was trying to get a hold of him, but the phone number he had for him was no good. Just to put this in context, this is demolition action that commenced in 2009. He was given an agreement to rehabilitate. It expired. He was given another agreement to rehabilitate. It expired. He's had 3 years to work on the property. It's still not done.
No. I've only owned the property for a year.
Okay, well, the property's been on the demolition list for 3 years.
Is this the one that's braced up with 2x4?
No. This is another one. This is 1150 Summer.
Look, in any case,
Let's not rehear the facts of the case.
In any case, I'm not worried about. This isn't the forum for that. You know, we can maybe discuss that at some point. I would love to, but the fact of the matter is, I just kind of want some guarantee that you won't bulldoze the place while my tools and things are in there.
If you'd like to have a conversation with the gentleman sitting right there, he can probably work out a date and let you know exactly how long it's going to be before the demolition contractor is going to proceed with work on the property.
The board isn't prepared to entertain a motion to guarantee me some amount of time.
Once the board's ruled on the decision, I think I may have told you last time, there's action that you can take, but it's no longer in front of this board.
Okay, I mean, I'm not trying to get a permanent stay of the demolition or to have anything reconsidered. I'm just trying to, in an official forum, rather than.
Again, if you speak to him, from my understanding, when a property is going to get demolished, the demolition contractor has to shut off utilities. The property owner has to be noticed one more time. Is that correct?
No, they just have to pull the permit, but nothing's going to happen today.
There's a process.
Look, I don't.
There's a process for that to happen. I don't know if that process is 7 days or 21 days. And if you need 14, you may already have that time.
Well, I don't mean to take up too much of your time here, but there's obviously a major disconnect in communication. I mean, a major disconnect in communication. I haven't gotten several notices that I'm sure were sent to someone. There's a huge chain of bankruptcy trustees and previous owners and tax sale interests and all these sorts of things. I think mail's going to the wrong place. I haven't been able to figure it out. I'm working full-time. My girlfriend's pregnant. For God's sake, man, I'm afraid that somewhere, as has happened before, in this whole melee of things, that things are going to get confused, and all of a sudden I'm going to lose my livelihood, which is my tools. Therefore, I'm requesting in this public forum that you guys would just officially stay the actual demolition, not stay the order, not change any of that. Just guarantee me some time. That's not good. That's great. I'm happy to do it. And actually, I can do it today. Okay, early next week. Okay, and that's...
We have a solution.
Okay. Dylan, thank you.
Anyone else for public expression that wishes to address the board? Come on forward, sir.
Hi. This is concerning the block of 7100 block of Columbia.
Yes.
Is there any way for there's people parking in the front and the back in the alley? And I called the non-emergency police, and they said the only way they can do anything is if they were actually blocking somebody from getting out. I have tenants there, and I'm not there. And I was just wondering if there's something you could, to prevent people from parking in front of people's garages and things like that.
What's going to happen now is we took the letter that, are you Mr. Troutner?
Yes.
Okay. We took the letter that you sent, we referred it to our traffic department.
Okay.
What they're going to do is go out there on several days during several different times of each day.
Okay.
And take an assessment of the vehicular traffic in the area.
Okay.
And then based on that assessment, they're going to make a recommendation back to us whether or not to approve or deny your request.
Okay, that's for the front. I mean, say they do approve it. What about in the back? Because there's a problem in the back too of the people in the apartments next door. They block everybody's area.
I would suggest that you send a secondary correspondence to us related to that matter that we can.
Okay. No problem.
That way we have a paper trail of what you're requesting that we can do the same thing with.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else for public expression? Board would like to recognize Councilwoman at Large Janet Venez. Thank you for attending our meeting and staying apprised of what's going on at the Board of Works. Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor?